The belief that Trump's fear is a powerful motivator has made the possibility of this war even more likely. He thinks that with a country like Iran, only the language of power, not diplomacy, can get results. If Iran rejects the main demands the US is making in the talks happening in Geneva, it looks like Trump will definitely choose the military option. Also, Israel is a big part of the reason behind this looming conflict. Israel has always seen Iran's military strength as a threat. But on the other hand, Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi has made it clear that Iran is not. Even in tough situations, we won't compromise our self-respect. Now the question is, does that mean a war between Iran and the US is inevitable? How prepared is Iran's military? Everyone, gather around. Today in this series, we'll take a close look at the rising tensions between the US and Iran and the possibility of war. For the US, attacking Iran won't be as easy as it was in Iraq or Afghanistan, because when the US attacked those countries, they didn't have much external support. The main point is, they also lacked a strong defense system. It wasn't like that before. But today, Iran not only has strong backing from major powers like Russia and China, its own defense system is also pretty solid. Russia provides Iran with military technology and strategic advice, while China offers economic and defensive support. Right now, Iran's ties with Russia and China are so strong that if the US attacks Iran, there's a good chance Russia and China will directly or indirectly launch a counterattack. If that happens, this war in the Middle East could get really intense, sure, but now the question is, will the US, and after all this buildup in the Middle East, just quietly go home? Will America actually launch an attack? Looking at Trump's past term and current style, he's the kind of leader who likes to make unpredictable decisions. Trump's main goal isn't so much to defeat Iran in a war, but to create such fear of war that Iran surrenders unconditionally. But if psychological pressure doesn't work, this time the US might not just do a surgical strike, they could carry out devastating air attacks lasting for weeks, according to US officials who spoke to Reuters. This potential operation won't be like Venezuela or Afghanistan. It's going to be a sustained military campaign, meaning it's not just a one-time strike, but rather waiting for Iran's retaliation and then hitting back even harder to take out Iran's main military and nuclear facilities. The Pentagon strategy signals that the US wants to completely eliminate Iran's ability to retaliate. There are 2 aircraft carriers deployed in the Gulf of Oman. They're not just there for show. Those warships have Iran completely surrounded, and at any moment, one order from Trump could send American warplanes swarming over Iranian skies. The belief that Trump's fear is a powerful motivator only makes the chances of war even more real. He thinks that with a country like Iran, diplomacy won't get results, only showing strength will. If, during the talks happening in Geneva, Iran rejects the 4 main demands from the US, ending the nuclear program, stopping missile tests, and cutting ties with proxy groups. If support is cut off and human rights aren't fully respected, it's pretty clear that Trump would choose a military option. Another key factor here is Israel's role, since Israel sees Iran's military strength as a direct threat to its existence. If Iran hesitates to end its nuclear program, stop missile testing, and cut support to proxy groups, war is almost certain. In that case, the US might not attack directly, but could give Israel the green light to carry out a solo strike, or depending on the situation, both Israel and the US might act together. They could launch a massive attack on Iran together. The simple and clear fact is that all these American warships, which have been stationed in the Arabian Sea for months with so much fanfare, definitely won't just quietly head home without any decision. Because now, for Trump, this is a fight for his reputation. He wants the world to see him as the leader who solved the long-standing Iranian issue in one bold move. When you closely look at Iran's military readiness and maintenance, it's clear that Tehran hasn't just seen a possible American or Israeli attack as a mere military threat. Instead, they view it as a fight for their very existence and have moved forward with a long-term defense strategy. The recent security upgrades to their military and nuclear facilities, as seen in satellite images, are solid proof of this. Towards the end of 2025, foreign military operations like Midnight Hammer and Rising Line caused damage to some of Iran's secret tunnels and nuclear enrichment centers. But instead of hiding the damages, Iran quickly repaired them, showing the world it can bounce back. Recent photos of Iran's Peekaboo Mountain tunnel reveal new concrete structures, modern rebar, and piles of earth. This means Iran is currently making its missile storage centers deeper and more secure. Their strategy is to hide key military assets so deep underground that not just regular bombs, but even powerful ones, like the mother of all bombs, can't reach them. Weapons won't have much effect. The construction work happening at nuclear sites like Isfahan and Natanz shows that Iran is putting a lot of focus on passive defense systems to handle any air attacks. Another key part of Iran's military readiness is constantly upgrading its missile and drone technology. Iran knows well that it can't face the US head-on in a traditional air war, so it's adopted an asymmetric warfare strategy, meaning uneven or unconventional warfare. Under this, it's building up thousands of suicide drones and ballistic missiles are kept ready, capable of causing heavy damage to Israeli and US military bases in the Middle East. Iran's main goal in maintaining its tunnels is to hide its launchers and strike suddenly during an attack. Although these repairs are visible to satellites, there might be a psychological warfare aspect behind it. Iran wants to send a message to the US and Israel that no matter how much you bomb us, we will rise again. It's a form of defiance that claims Iran's Islamic regime is still in power and hasn't bowed to foreign pressure. At the same time, Iran has been strengthening its military partnership with Russia. Because of this, it has acquired not just modern radar systems but also advanced air defense systems like the S-400. The roar of the Russian S-400 air defense system. The recent sound of the S-400 in the skies over Isfahan has added a new and powerful chapter to the strategic balance in the Middle East. Iran's move is not just a military test but also a message to the West. It's a clear sign of the growing strategic partnership between Tehran and Moscow against the powers. In the Isfahan area, where Iran's main nuclear sites and sensitive military facilities are located, the successful test of the Russian-made advanced S-40 system hints at the possibility of undermining Iran's defensive capabilities. The most significant part of this test is the Russian land-based component involved. According to reports, this test was carried out under direct Russian advice and guidance. This makes it clear that, in the Ukraine war, with help from Iranian drones and technology, Moscow has started paying off its debt by providing Iran with its deadliest defense systems to protect Iranian airspace from American and Israeli attacks. Khrushchev hasn't just given Iran the technical know-how and military advice to operate these systems. Right after the US decided to send its second aircraft carrier to the Middle East, Moscow also sent a strong diplomatic and military message to Washington. There had been mysterious missile strikes in Ishan before, which defense experts suspected were linked to Iran. Now, this. The open display has confirmed those fears, creating a risk that Iranian airspace could effectively become a no-fly zone for America's fifth-generation F-35 and F fighters. Russia's move hasn't just challenged the US monopoly in the Middle East. It's also given Iran the confidence that it can now defend against any potential airstrikes. This test in such a sensitive area like Spain has dealt a major blow to Israeli and American hopes of destroying Iran's nuclear program if the US continues targeting Iran's nuclear infrastructure. If someone tries to attack using a bunker buster bomb, the Russian tech-equipped S-400 can take out those threats right in the air. By doing this, Russia has basically set up a strong military front in the Middle East through Iran, which could be very costly for the US to break. With a possible attack looming on February 19th, there's a lot of fear and uncertainty in global diplomatic and military circles, making it feel like the Middle East is on the brink of a devastating war. Various defense experts, diplomats, and social media analysts are seeing this date as a potential deadline or turning point. The main concern stems from the increasing US military activity and President Donald Trump's aggressive strategy. Right after a crucial meeting in the US about Gaza and regional security, rumors of possible military action against Iran have put global markets and security systems on high alert. Since February 19th, there's been talk that American missiles or fighter jets could appear in Iranian skies at any moment, which worries not just Iran but others as well. The whole Gulf region could end up in war. This possible attack is mainly based on some strategic signals from the US. The US sending its second-largest aircraft carrier battle group to the Middle East and deploying advanced F-35 and F-15 jets isn't just a routine exercise. Leaked, unconfirmed info from the Pentagon and defense analysts suggest the US is planning precise airstrikes targeting Iran's nuclear facilities and military leadership. February 19th is seen as a crucial moment because the Trump administration aims for regime change in Iran, which seems to require intense military pressure. Although such strategic dates have come up before, Iran's recent missile test and the US's preparation in response have made this suspicion deeper and more real this time. Iran has made it clear that it will respond to any small attack with a big and prolonged war. Iran's supreme leader Khamenei and military commanders, who are leading the war, he's warned the US that they won't be allowed to end this. This means that a possible attack starting on February 19th could turn into not just a few days of fighting, but a full-blown war lasting months. Any strike on Iran's main nuclear sites, like Isfahan and Natanz, would cause serious damage, not just to the region's environment and security, but also to the global oil supply and economy. That date, February 19th, is surrounded by widespread speculation based not on any official announcement, but on military moves and diplomatic analysis. Even before this, there have been a lot of speculations, but this time the situation is different. According to defense analysts, the timing of the arrival of America's largest aircraft carrier and dozens of destroyers in the Middle East, along with an important meeting in Washington about Gaza, has brought this date into focus. So, February 19 should be seen less as a formal decision and more as a possible pressure point to mentally intimidate Iran and complete military preparations. While the clash between the United States and Iran is visible on the surface, it's behind the scenes, major powers like Russia, China, and Israel are making strategic moves. So, this potential war isn't just about Iran's nuclear program. It's also a crucial turning point for the future world order. If the US goes for a military option, it might be unilateral and straightforward like in Iraq or Afghanistan. But Iran hasn't just developed an asymmetric warfare strategy by learning from past wars. They also have strategic backing from Russia and China. In the end, the US might spark the fire of war in the Middle East, but the backlash could come back to haunt America itself. Not being scared of risks is even more dangerous. Everyone watching, please let us know in the comments how you liked today's episode. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, hit the bell icon so you're the first to get updates on our new videos. That's all for today. We'll be back with even more interesting and informative content in the next video. Until then, goodbye and take care.